faith, family, and everything else that matters to you from a godly point of view. Welcome to the Clearbranch Methodist Podcast.
Hey, welcome in. It is time for the Clearbranch Methodist Podcast. I am Mark Harvard. I'm the pastor of communications and online campus here for Clearbranch Methodist Church in Trussville, Alabama. And our guest this week is our lead pastor, Mr. Jeremy Auvil. Jeremy, thanks for being here this week.
Absolutely. Glad I could sit in with you and glad we could do a little preview for what we have going on this month. I mean, it is kind of a big month in the Christian calendar, right?
It's like the Super Bowl of church work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, this is the big deal. This is Advent, and we are going strong here at Clearbranch, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got a ton of things going on. We've got a lot of great opportunities, even outside of our normal Sunday morning stuff that we're doing. We've got movie nights. We've got parties for students and children. We have an abundance of stuff for you to plug in and be a part of. So, yeah.
And you can get all those details over on our website, clearbranch.org, or over on social media, that sort of thing. But the big thing that we wanted to talk about today was the sermon series that we're experiencing through Advent. It's called Gifts. Now, tell us a little bit about where that name came from, and then tell us a little bit about what the real focus is for this series.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys know this, maybe you've heard us talk about it before. If not, that's great. But we have a tremendous staff here that works really, really hard and puts together lots of ideas and presents all sorts of stuff in advance of a sermon series. We work about 12 to 18 months out as kind of an average for us, and so we've had the feedback and input from everybody on staff, and we're looking for a way to kind of encapsulate the nature of what Christmas is all about in a way that kind of runs contrary to what culture tells us. Most of the time you think about culture and what they say about Christmas, and it's an opportunity for us to get, or potentially to give, but with on the back burner the understanding that we're getting something too. And there's so much of it that's materialistic, and certainly no problem with people buying each other gifts, but we don't want to overlook or miss the fact that this season really is about the greatest gift that we've ever received, that we could ever imagine, and that gift is Jesus, and about the impact that brings to our lives, the transformation that comes as a result of that, and the implications that are long running. Advent is a place where we have a starting point. Really, it's the celebration of the coming of Christ a little over 2,000 years ago, but it's also the proclamation of the promise of Christ's return again. And so there's a lot that goes into Advent, and we're encapsulating that in the concept of gifts where, we've got the best gift you could ever get in the form of Jesus. So as a part of this concept, we have a brand new set that's been up this week. Micah has just been, literally working himself to the bone. Yeah, absolutely. Trying not to lose digits in the process.
He drew blood yesterday while working on it. But we have a new set, and there's all kinds of surprises for those that come on Sunday mornings. With the trees are up there, and the whole building is kind of set up to kind of reinforce this whole just kind of almost nostalgic mode of remembering all that we grew up with, but at the same time also recognizing that gift that overrules all other gifts, that ultimate blessing that we've been given by God.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you and I are both admittedly National Lampoon's fanatics. I mean, to some degree. Yeah. And I think that, I don't think you get any better in a National Lampoon's world than you get for Christmas Vacation. And so
it's a beaut.
It is. It's a beaut. It's a beaut, Clark. In a sense, we kind of are attempting to capture some of that. Like Chevy Chase sitting in the attic with 8mm and Ray Charles in the background.
Oh yeah.
And it's not that that's it, but there is this kind of an overarching look, right, of how even the worship space looks is kind of that way too. So there's some neat stuff that's going there. C9 bulbs all over the place, and really, really simple design. It's a lot of fun. So
yeah, you're definitely going to get kind of a taste of that. There's like a comfort level that comes with some of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and I think too, we're really striving to return to these historic concepts. It's not to say that Clearbranch has ever drifted away from acknowledging kind of the historic liturgical points of Christmas, because it's always been there. But
sure,
we're getting reorienting ourselves in that groove. Focusing on topics like hope and peace and joy and love, and really encapsulating the expectancy of it. And so that's Yeah, I'm pumped.
And we are doing the liturgical readings again this year.
We are. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, we've got students that are going to be part of that each week that are doing the readings for us. And that's going to be pretty awesome. They'll be reading from, different places throughout Scripture and giving us kind of the basic background, providing the scriptural context for us before we jump into the sermon. And so that's going to be great too. Yeah, for sure.
So we've got students doing the readings. We've got, the kids are going to be singing one morning. We've got the Christmas choir going on. How important is it for a congregation to be actively involved during the season of Advent?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that kind of the look that you get on Sunday morning, for instance, Christmas Eve or, Christmas Eve evening, because we'll actually have 2 services this year on Christmas Eve, a 9:30 and 5 o'clock. 5,
yes.
Yeah, 9:30 and 5. That's right. Sorry, brain dead there for a second. But historically, kind of your Christmas Eve service and your Easter service are your massive services.
Sure.
But what really should happen, I think, in the church world is for those of us who are actively involved in church to really kind of put that to make it obvious. We should be in church for all the services and doing all the things, and not to say that you sacrifice, your health or anything, but gosh, I mean, play a part, be here, show up on Sunday mornings, enjoy it. We've got great Christmas songs that'll be a part of this. You mentioned the choir; that's going to be amazing. At 9:30 on Christmas Eve in the morning, we've got what I think will be an awesome morning with like kids in pajamas and a huge breakfast that starts at 8 a.m. And we're kind of doing breakfast stuff throughout the month, but that's going to be like a knock it out of the park breakfast. And I can't wait, man. I absolutely cannot wait. So,
And I love that no matter what age you are, no matter what group you're plugged into, there's a way for you to be involved,
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I mean, whether it's we're doing a kids moment on Sunday morning of Christmas Eve. That'll be the first time we've done that since, gosh, I've been here. I can't think of a time we've done that in 7 years, and so really looking forward to that. But that's a part of it. We've also got opportunities for you to come and to help play and serve and have fun and all the different things that go into movie nights and shoot. We just had Deck the Halls this past Sunday. That was amazing. Probably the largest turnout that we've had to help with Deck the Halls in probably 7 or 8 years.
You know what the difference there was?
Potluck. I mean, that's what it was. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's gonna be pizza again? Not down pizza. I love pizza, but potluck. Come on.
I have not. It is rare for us to do an event here where we walk away and I am thinking to myself throughout the duration, I don't know if we have enough food. Right? Like we are over preppers. I don't know if you know that about Methodist, but we have a tendency to like double down on the food, and we're gonna go above and beyond. And we thank Bo and Lori Walker for that. They're amazing in that regard. And but how awesome it was to have a potluck where we have literally got people circling the tables like vultures because they're trying to get, their favorite thing. And it was so good.
Oh yeah. There was leftover over Thanksgiving stuff out there. There was sandwich.
People had baked like brand new hams. It wasn't just like leftover ham. It was like brand new ham. It was so good. A brand new, pans of dressing. There was my wife Jenny made this awesome Italian wedding soup, which was like all but I think 2 cups of it were gone. There were lots of great desserts. I don't know if you guys got any of that like cherry crumble. That was amazing. There were so many good things, and it was almost all gone. So,
but it also helped create it and go back into what we were talking about, that sense of community.
Absolutely.
And
that's what we've been pushing for, right? Like
absolutely.
One of the major, in fact, I think I'd go so far as to say kind of the major catchword for us, in the midst of the transition and then following it has been striving to generate a place where people are connected and people are able to not merely show up to be at church, in anonymous ways. Like I often, if you talk to me long, you're going to hear me reference the anonymous church. We're not built to be part of an anonymous church. We're built to be part of a connected, communal, family-oriented, recognition of the brothers and sisters relationship that comes in Christ. And man, I think potluck has a tendency to kind of exclamation point that. We've done that twice in the past 8 weeks, and both times I have left rather full and extremely happy with the feedback and the response. Really,
absolutely. Amazing. We've got some great cooks within this church.
Yes,
that gratefully, to my delight, share their talents with others.
Well, absolutely. And you look back at like the 2 weeks ago or Sunday before last, we actually had the ladies ministry did totally brain dead. They cooked all the stuff and brought it out, and it was like They're selling the stuff for fundraiser for
the bake
ministry.
sale.
Bake sale. Golly.
Wow.
Totally lost that word. Yeah, the bake sale. I mean, that was another
Man.
perfect example of that. Thank you. Yes, I realize this is 45. You're the best. But yeah, bake
We
sale.
should not do these after lunch.
I know. No, that's all I can think about now is food. But no, yeah. So you're gonna have to clean that up, Mark. But anyway, the bake sale. Thank you, and another great way, generating community and family and fun, and yeah, we're all about that. So
It's good. It's good. It's a good sense of community, and it's a special time just to be here at Clearbranch. And when we get back, I want to talk about some of the things we have coming up. Some of the special events, just those high note events that we have coming up, the church-wide stuff, and also look forward even beyond Advent at what's coming in January. So when we get back with that, Jeremy Auvil's here, lead pastor at Clearbranch Methodist. My name is Mark Harvard, and we'll be back. Stick around.
Want to catch up on a sermon you might have missed? Need to see what God has said about an issue in your life? Looking for some on-the-go Bible lessons for your kids? Find it all on our Clearbranch Methodist YouTube channel. Go get it now at youtube.com/ClearbranchMethodist.
Welcome back to the Clearbranch Methodist Podcast.
We are back. It is the Clearbranch Methodist Podcast. My name is Mark Harvard. I'm the pastor of communications and online campus for Clearbranch Methodist Church in Trussville, Alabama. Our guest this week is Pastor Jeremy Auvil. He is the lead pastor here at Clearbranch. We've been talking about Advent, and we've been talking about just the sense of community that comes from being a part of a church in that time of year. We've talked about our sermon series, the Gifts sermon series. Now, we've mentioned a few times that there's a lot of things coming up here over the next month. We've got Christmas kickoffs with our children. We've got the movie night. Talk a little bit about the family movie night.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Next Wednesday night, family movie night, we'll have popcorn, we'll have hot chocolate, we'll have all sorts of fun, and we'll get together and watch a movie in our big worship space, and it'll be all ages. If you have got time on a Wednesday night, come and hang out with us. It'll be a ton of fun.
Now, some parents might be a little leery because they're thinking, our kids don't normally have to. They don't sit still in the sanctuary. And that they're not expected to sit still in the sanctuary. We're actively giving them sugar and then sending them in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So-
it's almost like shaking up a bottle of soda and expecting it not to fizz, right? To some degree, you get the kids. They can't get excited anyway because it's Christmas. So totally okay with that. They're going to have snacks. They're going to have drinks. They're going to have that stuff in the worship space. Guess what? It'll clean up. It'll buff.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fine. It's no problem at all. That's why we have tile floor in the worship space. So, easy peasy, and it'll be a lot of fun. I think, honestly, one of my favorite parts about it is that you can have families come together. So you can have parents come with their kids. Everybody sits down, and it's just like going to a movie, except it's free, including the snacks. So, there you
And
go.
parking's better.
And parking's better, yeah. And honestly, I think our sound system's pretty amazing, and lights, and all the things are really, really good here.
Well, all that
So-
stuff broke. And so we've
several
had to
years
fix
ago,
it.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we've all had to fix all that stuff.
Still riding the high of the replacement of all this stuff, which makes it that much better than it ever was before. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we've got that. We've got. Tell me a little bit about the service of Loss and Light.
Yeah, Service of Lost and Light, something we hadn't mentioned yet, and I think
The
it's honestly
21st?
21st. Yeah, 21st, and it's honestly one of my favorite parts of the season. Not because of the celebratory side of it, right? Because that's not what it is. It's kind of the inverse of that. We take some time to remember those who have passed. We have opportunities for people to come and to share and to grieve and to appreciate the presence and the work and the love that God offers us, even in the midst of our grieving, in the midst of our heartache. And so if you have dealt with loss in the past year or any time, and you'd like to come and be a part of that, we'd love to have you. Opportunities to light candles, opportunities to take part in songs of worship that are contemplative and intentionally focusing us in terms of recognizing God's work in the midst of our valleys. And you'll get to hear from some of our wonderful folks in the congregation, other than just pastors, who are able to share from their experiences and to read Scripture and to challenge us as we work through what it means to grieve in this season. You know, so many times you think about Christmas or the holidays. Really, I mean, for me, I always think about it from like September on is kind of like that run towards the awesome holiday season.
Yeah.
But it's easy for us to get caught up in this excitement of it when there's plenty of people out there who do not experience excitement. Instead, they relive loss, or maybe they're experiencing the first Christmas or first holiday season without having someone that they love with them. So it can be an absolute blessing to be with others who are in the same place that you are.
And I've seen that so much during this time of year, especially between Thanksgiving and Christmas. You're in all these parties, you're in all these gatherings, and if you're not feeling it, it's isolating, but also you don't want to bring everybody else down. During this service, it's like there's permission given. Okay, I mean, you grieve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it out, and it's okay. And we're here to kind of surround you with that.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think one of the really neat things that happens during the service of Lost and Light is that you have a lot of people in the worship space, but just because you're there with others, you can be in their presence and not feel like you have to be super engaged with them, right? Yeah. Sometimes, kind of the Jewish tradition of sitting Shiva, sometimes it's just having people that are present with you and willing to dwell in that moment of grief and allow you to experience that and to simply love you and to be present with you through that. And so it really is, if you haven't been there, I know I said this, but man, what a beautiful way for us to be able to care for and support each other in this season that is so frequently over the top in celebration and sometimes misses the mark for folks who want to, who need to have that place of grief. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we move past that and we get to Christmas Eve, 2 services.
Yeah. First time we've done that in a while.
It is. Well, 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But 9:30 service, and that's going to look a little different than the normal Sunday morning 9:30 service.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, we'll have breakfast at 8 a.m., and that'll be a big breakfast. Like we're doing some little things throughout the month on Sunday mornings, which is kind of traditional for us here at Clearbranch, but there'll be a big breakfast with like cinnamon rolls and biscuits and sausage and all the stuff. And that'll start at 8 a.m. And then we'll go into worship together. We'll have a children's moment up front where the kids will come forward with Miss Melanie. It's going to be awesome to be able to do that. We'll have kind of a shortened message that'll be looking at the nature of love. And so that'll be fun to explain and talk about with our children. And we'll have...
and everything's going to have kind of a family focus,
family feel,
right?
too. Yeah. It's kind of like that one-room church kind of concept, which, in a church this size, sometimes it's hard to pull that off. You might have everybody in one room, but being able to consolidate that and have it feel super intimate is
because that one room is bigger than a lot of people's houses.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, for sure. And so we're really striving for intimacy, and that goes from the experience of message and worship and breakfast and pajamas. Come as you are. There's not really any pressure there. And then, of course, amazingly, we followed it up at 5 o'clock with another service, which is my favorite service of the year. Oh, yeah. It's the candlelight service and all the awesome songs that we so commonly associate with Christmas. And it's honestly the highest attendance of our services typically here at Clearbranch. And so you guys are going to want to make plans to be here and probably get here early. It
fills up.
It really does. Like it really does. And I think we'll see some neat things come from that this year. So
we get past that.
Yeah.
January.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's not like we end Christmas Eve here at Clearbranch and, we just kind of, all right, well, let's just phone it in till Easter. I mean,
no, not at all.
Some big things happen in January.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got 2 great series that are starting us off next year. I'm super pumped about those 2. The first one is based around the book of Nehemiah. And we'll be looking at kind of the reclaiming of what it is that God calls us to. If you're not familiar with the story of Nehemiah, the Israelites have been in captivity in Babylon. They're coming back. They've gotten back to their home, to their promised land, and they have this neat kind of occurrence of rebuilding the walls and repopulating the city. And they find the Book of Moses, which had gone kind of MIA for a while. I think we talked about this one time. It's almost a little bit like Monty Python. There's a moment where they find the Book of the Law and they're like, oh, we found this book and we've been doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
And so so that'll be the first part of that'll be January, and then following that series as we head into prepping for Lent and everything else, which we move into the next major holy season within the church calendar, Easter. But we move into Lent and we're doing a series that's all about spiritual practices. And I cannot wait for that. We'll be talking about fun things like prayer and fasting. I know that gets everybody super excited, but yeah, we're going to be covering a lot of neat stuff.
So big things on the horizon, even past the Advent season.
Oh, absolutely.
So much going on. Jeremy, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me, man. It's always fun to sit in with you guys and to be able to do this. And thank you guys for tuning in. And we look forward to seeing you during Advent. Come join us 9:30 a.m. on Sunday mornings. We would love to have you. 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Love to have you join us. And if you can't make it to all of them, join us for a couple of them. And then we look forward to seeing you in January and February and March and April. All those too. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. If you want more information about any of the stuff we've talked about, go check us out online, clearbranch.org. You can also find us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all those places. Go reach out and find and like and do whatever the appropriate interaction is for that platform. I'm Mark Harvard. This has been the Clearbranch Methodist Podcast. See you around.